Hello there guys, and welcome to Hub Beyond Numbers, where we make maths very interesting to learn. Now in this video or in this playlist, we'll be looking at the idea of limits. And for this particular video, this very first video, we'll just look at visual, appealing, explanatory images on what limits. Images that are going to help us understand and appreciate limit. Before that, let's define what limit is. A limit represents the value of a function that it approaches as the input itself approaches a particular point. So let's take this function here as an example. We have x squared plus 3 and we want the limit as x approaches 2. So to read this over here, we say the limit of x squared plus 3 as x approaches 2 is 7. Alright, to go into that, this blue curve here is what this function represents. And the x values here are our inputs. So all these values you have over here are your inputs. Alright, so if that is our input, these then are the corresponding values of the function. At input 0, our function gives us a value, which is this over here. At input 0.5, it also gives us another value. At input 1, we have a value of 4, you see, and it continues on and on and on. Now, do you see that as we are increasing the values of x, the values of f of x, that is our function, is also increasing. So from 4 to 5 to 6 in that order, and then it increases. Okay. Now the same way, if we start from 4 and we start reducing the values of x, initially 4 is going to give us this over here, which corresponds to, let's say, 19. If you reduce it, the value of f of x also reduces, right? It reduces in that order. Now at the point where we want the limit, in this case, what I have circled over here, that is x equals 2. What do you see happening as you are reducing the value? What do you see happening as you are increasing the value? What do you see happening? Let me tell you. So as we are reducing the value, you see it started from what? 19. It came to 18, then 17, 16, in that order, till at that particular point where it comes to 7. You see, the same way as we were increasing the values, it was increasing till you got to that particular point where it came to what? 7. That is basically what limit does. So limit is asking you that as you either increase or reduce the values from the left or the right hand side, what value do we expect to get? Are you getting that? So what it is saying is, okay, you have all these values there from your right and then left hand side. Now, we want to increase this value to a particular value, which is 2. What value should we be expecting, or what value do you think the function will be approaching? The same way we want to reduce from 4 down to 2. What value would we be approaching? You see, it will be reducing in that order. That is what limit does, right? And there are ways we solve limits for each and every function. But as I said earlier on, for this particular video, I will just look at images representing the functions, and then we can just tell their limits from the images. So for this particular one, the limit of this function as x is approaching 2 would be what? 7, because that is the value you will get when you get to 2. That is indicated with this 7, this green line over here. Right? So let's go to another function and then see how that also works. So for this function we have over here, this is actually a trigonometric function. Sine x all over x. Do you see? Okay. So this is the graph of the function. This here is the graph of the function. And if you input 1, this is the corresponding value you get. I hope that is clear. And if you input 2, well, If you input 1, this is the corresponding value you get. If you input another value, negative. So if you input negative 0.1, this is the answer we'll be getting. And it goes on and on and on. And as you can see from this side, the value of the function increases. Right? The same way as you can see from this side, the value of the function, if you are starting from here, then it will be decreasing. How do we know it is decreasing? You started from here. So you see its corresponding value at the f of x axis. So its corresponding value keeps decreasing. But what we want to solve for is, as you are increasing or decreasing or whatever you want to do, what value? So we are saying the limit as it is approaching 0. So what value is it going close to as you are getting towards x equals 0? So to start with, you started with negative 1. This was your answer. Negative 0.07. This was your answer. And you will see that it keeps increasing till it gets to 1. Alright. So to use the images, just look at the point we are talking about. And then its corresponding value at the what? F of x. Alright. So it is not always that the function at that particular point will be defined. Talking of function being defined, we will treat that in another video. But then let's look at this example here and then see what that is. As you can see, this function, it is certainly not defined when x is equal to 0. If we zoom out, we realize that the function doesn't meet at x equals 0. This here is just a teaser. Click on our next video and then you would get more of that. Thanks for watching. Kindly subscribe if this video was helpful, and then let me know at the comment section if there is any topic you would want me to treat for you at any time. I'll be glad to do that. Stay blessed.